Bow. There we go. Sorry if that clap's loud. We're back again for the night. I haven't even said my first sentence yet. Back again, late night session. No one's here, just me right now. That's okay. It'll make sense for the YouTube replay. So, I've got Mahalo up first. We've started usually with Scott and Craig. We've started usually with the family portrait, but this time around, it's going to be fresh. This time, we're going straight into Mahalo, and I'm getting tingly feelings. I'm excited. Demetris, hello, how are we doing? Now, I'm going to have to turn the air conditioning on cold. I like to work in a cold studio. That's just me. We're all here again. Oh, g'day Cameron, how are we doing? Well, I'm super excited about this painting, guys. I love this painting. I'm really excited for where it goes. Hand up. Elaine, you don't need to put your hand up. You just say whatever you want to say. And Marco, yes, I am still here. I disappeared in the morning, ran some errands, got a haircut. Look at that, side's all gone so I can hear what people are saying now, even though it's all text. And hello from Fiji, welcome, and JD, hope you're well. Right, here is our paint tray. Voila, we have a paint tray, a plate of paint. Plate of paint. Could you call a plate a palette if you're using it for paint? Or is it still a plate of paint? Is it a palette of paint or a plate of paint? That's the question. Now, let's have a look down here. I'm going to mix up some fresh colour. I put a bit of maroon on the blue tray, and it didn't quite go in my way. So now I'm going to grab some, there's a word on here, Quana Arc Dome. It's a magenta. They're trying to overcomplicate it, and it's working. They didn't need to, they just did. Sing my favourite Ariana song. I don't know any. So, sorry, is that a red flag? I'm unaware of any. How am I doing? Erin, I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. Cheryl, I'm doing fantastic. How do you feel about me coming on earlier tonight? That's wild, isn't it? I'm sorry for being such a pain these last few days, Cheryl. You have been incredibly tolerant of me. And the weirdness around the hours that we've left on the stream. But look, we've gone for an earlier one. It's going to be about 2 hours, and then I'm going to head on back, and then we'll do another morning one tomorrow. But we'll also see how we get on, because it's a wild world out there. Sorry. Go. I want to get something done for my partner, but can't find a link on your website. Oh, sorry about that, Nathan. Ignore the website. Go by the link in the bio, and that'll take you to Linktree. So, at the moment, the website's in a little bit of disrepair because I pulled down, it's a little bit barren. I pulled down the online shop, so I thought I was selfish. I didn't want to sell the last 4 works. I wanted to keep them in the studio. So, absolutely, very keen to help you out. Go onto the link in the bio and you'll find a commissions thing that you can click on, and from there it'll take you through to the little process. Otherwise, Instagram, you can DM me. I'm a little bit behind in the DMs, so I'm sorry. Otherwise, in the same link in the bio, there's a email address which you can go straight through to me. That works too. All of it works. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. And Brian, I'm fantastic. Check my belt out. My belt's perfect. It's a good belt. Shelby got it for me. Shelby got it for me in Australia. She didn't have to either. She surprised me with it. Why? Because she's awesome. Now let's have a look-see here. This is a deep orange. We're going to apply this to a few areas. Here we go. And I'll drink all the time. We should be lovers. We can't do that. Well, John, you can't have it. Too bad. If you want your own, go to Brisbane or Adelaide or wherever it came from. Australia represent Jono. I have to apologise. I'm not from Australia. You sound so positive and happy though that I feel like I now need to be, but I'm actually a Kiwi. The accent is Kiwi. But you know what? We can still get along. We should be lovers. We can't do that. We should be lovers. And that's a fact. Though nothing will keep us together, we could still turn just for one day. We can be heroes forever and ever. Beautiful. So part of what we want to do as a character here is a deep tan colour. Some hot colours in there. It's got a great tan on this character. Great colours hitting it. Oh, I missed it there. What was that? Moulin Rouge. Absolutely, it's Moulin Rouge. But it's the original one. I love the Glee one or the High School Musical one. The new one's fantastic. But I love the old school one, guys. The one on YouTube when you search Moulin Rouge Elephant Love Melody. And he's like, love is a mini. Splendid thing, love. Lift us up where we belong. All you need is love. I agree with him. I like the dude. I think me and him would get along real well. I love the TBI. It's good. Rob, I'm glad. I'm going to be much happier too once this aircon actually fills this room up, because it is hot. Okay, so, sorry. Person here. Great tan on this person. This is a depiction of Steve. It's going to be Steve's likeliness. Steve's got long hair. We're slowly building the hair out. You'll see it there. It's currently down to about the neck. It needs to come down just past the shoulders, so it'll come out a little bit further there. That's all good. One thing we'll start doing, guys, is there's actually in this wave, barrel, there's a reflection down this way. The reflection's going to have some of the colour that we put in the person. So an easy rule to apply, we're not applying it here, but if you're tripping up a little bit, an easy rule to apply is get some of the colour you put into the person, and every time you finish with that colour, add a little bit into the reflection of the shadow cascading out. Now, that's the first way to learn how to do reflections in water, or an easy way to do it. Once you get the hang of it, you'll just add those colours in naturally from your guiding picture. But if it's been a little bit tough and you want a little trick, that's one way to do it. Yeah, so if you look through here, you'll see some cascading, and it is cascading, colour. It's not a specific colour, I mixed it myself. I don't have the orange I wanted, so I had to mix our own, which for me is blasphemy. I love using paint straight from the tube. So that's just where we're at. I love those colours. Thank you very much, Kelly. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. When did you start painting? And what made you want to start? Started painting when I was a young fella. Basically as soon as I could walk. And then what perpetuated painting was the fact that first off, I absolutely love it. I think it's the most amazing craft. I think I can give something really good to the world with it. I think I can share love, enthusiasm, and good energy with everyone else in the world through painting. So that's very compelling. But honestly, in terms of the catalyst between a 2-year-old playing with crayons and a 30-year-old painting art, the catalyst would be probably, I mean, obviously a million peers, but also my mother in the early stages encouraging me and giving me the tools in order to develop as a young budding artist. Yeah. Obviously I wasn't, I was just a kid, but it's very, very helpful when your family encourages you into it and tells you to do it and gives you the supplies from a young age to actually support that sort of a hobby. Are you any good at painting happy little trees? Oh, not as good as Bob Ross's. You know what? He can have the happy little trees. Bob Ross is great. But I do make a lot of happy little mistakes. And I think that's all good. Honestly, guys, I think the 21st century, the biggest flex of the 21st century is gonna be, pardon me, biggest flex of the 21st century is gonna be saying that you can make mistakes, saying that you're, couple of things. You make mistakes, you're not perfect, you're imperfect, you're anxious, self-conscious. These are all things an AI can never be. These are your personal qualities. You're like, those things are awful. But they're about to be very unique. So, own those things. Own those things. And see, hey, look, I'm glad I could help in some small way. Good luck out there. Right. You don't want to overdo colours. We don't want to underdo colours. How do you know when you're doing too many colours? Or not enough colours? You don't. But it's easy to tell in hindsight. So that's part of the fun. Here we go. We should be lovers. We can't do that. There's enough of that one. We're going back onto our blues. Where are our blues hiding? We should be lovers. And that's a fact. Alright. Same brush, but this one here is going to be for our blues. If we mix our blues with our reds, it's fine to do it, but then we're going to get purple. Do we want purple? Usually, but right now, we'd like to keep them separately. Do I visit Australia? Not as much as I wish I could. Thanks, Cheryl. If anyone's new here, Cheryl is one of the greatest human beings on the face of the planet, and she helps keep everyone happy and friendly. So, props to Cheryl. Show her love. Have you ever tried any other things other than painting? Yeah. Tried all sorts. When you say any other things, do you mean like careers, or do you mean like sculpture? Because I love sculpture. Performance art. What else do I like? All the things, guys. That's unhelpful. Sculpture, performance art, clay. Never been great with clay, guys. I do better when my hands are clean, but I love clay as a medium. I love getting my hands messy, but my dexterity once I get down and messy is lacking. And so paint's great because your hands stay clean, you've got tools that you're using, and so you can keep refreshing, recalibrating, and attacking from a different angle. But with clay, you don't always get that opportunity. Or at least not the way I do it. We should be lovers. We can't do that. We should be lovers. And that's a fact. Though nothing keep us together. You know what? That guy makes a really compelling argument in that song. If you've listened to Elephant Love Melody, how could you not give that guy a chance? He deserves it. What a champion. What a champion. We could be heroes just for one day. You will be me. I won't. And how do you not get bored of painting? I used to draw a lot, now I just can't. That's a great question. How do you stop yourself from getting bored? And that doesn't just go for painting, that goes for all sorts of crafts that you could pursue. That goes for sports you could do. You know, for every hour you spend painting, there's a sportsman out there spending an hour practicing his passes, practicing his tennis hits, practicing certain exercises to strengthen certain muscles, over and over and over and over and over again. And when you think about that, what's been keeping you sane lately? Similar question, actually. So when you think about that in terms of painting, you're going to spend 8 hours slowly developing a painting. Actually, if you want to compare that to someone who does practice for sports, the changes in performance those star athletes see is so tiny, so minusculely small between each practice. Pretty much every practice is exactly the same. At least for a painter or a drawer, there's a slight development between each layer that you're doing. You can see progress. Every time you touch the canvas, progress is made. So you're already a step in front of them. But actually, one thing that can happen is we can strangle the process, get so fixated on the end result, and the result that comes from that is we really hate or start to resent making the art, the process of drawing, the process of painting. You need to find out or figure out or remember what made it fun when you first started. What's with the pick on top of the canvas? We'll get to that. So it's really, really important to go back to why you first enjoyed it. Was it the experimentation? Was it the environment you were in? Was it the music you were listening to? Was it the place you were doing it? Was it the fact that there wasn't an onus on you to actually make a result? You just enjoyed the process. And then what changed? And then try and return to what you enjoyed about it and still be heading in the direction you want to be going in. Only you can answer that for whatever your craft is. Picture. This is Steve. So Steve is a surfer. Steve's in Hawaii. Steve's an absolute champion. Steve is up here. Steve's got long hair. Steve's a classic surfer. Fantastic guy. And this is Steve barreling on the wave. So the reason why I've got Steve up here, and actually I've got one more of him over here. Where's your angle at, guys? Right there. I'll chuck that one up there. So these are pictures of Steve. This is Steve's painting. And to get in the vibe or understand a little bit around the man we're trying to create the likeness of and depiction of, we're using his pictures just to remind us, to remind me, okay, Steve, that's the sort of character that we want to capture on this wave. And the character I see a character full of life and vitality. I see a character who wants to live and take the best out of life. And I want to express that with Steve here on the wave. And this big curling wave is just going to be not only a wave, but also a zest for life. So, sounds cheesy. That's what I want to do. I think that's really cool. I think the colours in the wave make it feel alive. Steve here on the wave, everything about it is just, I'm a big fan. Big fan. A couple other languages there, can't quite read. John, how many pieces do I paint a week? I average just under one. So just under one, about 3 a month. But as time goes by, I'm speeding up. I'm getting the canvases, because it's not all just about the painting though. We get hung up on thinking, well, it's all painting. It's not. There's canvases to be made. There's paint and tools to be assembled. There's people to talk to about the commissions. There's boxing to be done for the commissions. Send-offs to be done. All this sort of stuff. So there's a process that comes with the picture. The actual painting side of it as well is a component of a beautiful process. Think of the painting like the arrow flying through the air towards a target. Now, if it's going to hit the target and the painting's going to be good, you need to make sure the bow's well strung, that the arrow's been pulled back, that the archer is facing the right direction, that they've taken time to actually pull the arrow. All these things together make the arrow hit the target. That's the canvas, the assembly of the tools, the boxing correctly, the shipping correctly, all the periphery things. Steve, aloha. How are we doing, Steve? I've just been given a whole blurb about what we're doing here with Mahalo. Don't worry, you've heard it all before, but if you want to catch it for the second time around, it'll be in the replay. But basically, wave, bringing life into it. Steve's around the place to actually get the idea of Steve in my mind and actually be able to depict it onto the wave. And yeah, basically the colours we're using is going to bring the wave alive and capture the zest for life that Steve would have had in these surfing days that we're trying to depict. Sorry if I waffled there. Do you still love it as a hobby or as a job or more of a job? That's a great question, JD. As soon as it becomes a job, there's far better jobs that someone could be doing. You could get a far more reliable income with almost any career. And you can find a job that's not mentally draining. Art is incredibly mentally draining. It's a craft of chaos. You don't know when a picture's going to come together or when it's going to fall to pieces. There's huge anxiety in that. There's a challenging mental game with every piece because it's never the same. It's always a challenge. Every piece is unique in its own right, doing its own things. So if you didn't love it, you need to run. Like this is a no-fly zone if you don't love it. This is you need to really, really enjoy art, and that goes especially for painting. That's 101, but it also applies for things like photography and other art forms as well. Y'all hear something? That might be my shoes on the ground, guys. They're not tap dancing shoes, but on this floor with these shoes, they may as well be. What brushes do I use? Run-of-the-mill brushes. This is the run-of-the-mill. So it's not the cheapest brush, it's not the best brush. We're not wanting the best brush because we're not wanting perfect strokes that hide the fact that we used a brush. I want the best brush I can get that still shows off brush strokes because I want you to be able to see where the bristles were moving across the canvas. And that's sort of a nod to the process that you're doing. Too often do we try to run or hide the process, guys. It's the 21st century. You've got every option in the whole world. You can do perfect gradients now. You can replicate a work millions of times. You can make it look like anything you want. You can run it through a computer and you can add an astronaut, a Tesla, and a giant green mountain with a goat on top into the picture instantaneously. That being the case, make sure your process is actually something that you own. And in this case, I really want to own the fact that we are using a brush and that you can see the bristle marks across the painting, that we are using paint, that you can tell it's paint. It doesn't try to hide itself as ink like a great perfect gradients and things. It slaps itself onto the canvas. That it's a canvas, it's an unprimed canvas. The reason it's unprimed, then you can see that raw texture of a canvas stretched around wood. Yeah. So all those things together, it's all very rudimentary, guys. Painting at a sort of a raw level tries to be rudimentary, or at least I try to make it that. You call that, you can call it primalism. I love that term. You don't have to use it, but big fan of the term primalism. And I'll try and keep my trail of thought, but sometimes I'll lose it. I see Cheryl tagging a few things there, guys. Please respect what Cheryl says. She's an absolute legend, and we're lucky to have her here. Tiffany, thank you very much. And Lisa Frank stickers. It's like watercolors and Lisa Frank stickers. All right. I'm not quite sure what that is, but you know what? I'm going to check it out after this. I'm not sure whether I should say thank you or sorry, but you know what? I'm going to find out. After this live, all you need is love. Oh, don't start that again. All you need is love. Love is just a game. Open my eyes, Seb is there. I don't understand, but I'm happy for you. I hope your day goes exactly how you want it to go. And if it doesn't, I hope it's full of happy little surprises. Honestly, the best days I've had in my life are days that didn't go the way I had them planned at all. And so I think that's pretty compelling reasoning to do the same thing with your paintings. What do you call that kind of painting technique? That's a great question. First off, with painting's the Wild West, and it may upset some people to hear it, but you can call it whatever you want. And at sort of a fundamental level, art's subjective, and so with clever linguistics, this could be whatever. This could be data. Oh, sorry, that's an art history joke. It's not even funny. This would be, in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, I would call this impressionism. So impressionism is when you try and make an impression of a picture. In this case here, we're trying to make an impression of Steve on the wave. We're not changing the scale, we're not distorting certain areas. Yes, we're playing with the colour, but the actual image itself, every dot that goes onto it is inspired from our guiding image. I need that guiding image because, like I was posting it on Instagram before, I go crazy without one. It just goes in any direction, it's very uncontrollable, and so having the guiding image acts as an anchor, and it's more of a, it makes great guidelines for me. And then I combine that with primalism. So impressionism could use a laptop, could use a computer, could use all sort of funky things, you could draw it on a tablet, but I love the raw feeling of rudimentary tools and making a painting from that, because I feel like there's a part of us which really likes a raw primal process. And so it's impressionism with primalism. If that description was too long and waffly, don't worry, I thought it was too. And if I lost you, it's entirely my bad. I'm sure there's an easier way to say that. I couldn't find it. That's the best I could do. Thanks, Dustin. You absolute champion. And I really, really appreciate everyone who leaps on here and supports the stream, guys. You're all absolute champions. It's because of you guys that I've got this red. I should show you actually. Here we are. It's because of you guys that I have this fantastic little red toolbox, which carries all my paints. It's because of you guys that I have the stand here. If anyone remembers that thing on the back's my t-shirt, it's my rag now. If anyone remembers the green Oakley t-shirt I used to wear on the streams, that one's there now. What type of paint do you use, and do you sell these magnificent paintings? First, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're an absolute champion. Second off, I use acrylic paints, and the reason I use acrylics is because I mix them with mediums, like clear painting mediums, to make them stretch out, become more transparent, and gloss gels, which make them shine in different ways. So it's going to look and behave like oils, but it's acrylics. The reason I use acrylics and not oils is say, well, why do you make your paints look like another paint? Why not just use the other kind of paint? Is because I want to dry the layers really fast, so I can put down 20 or so layers. Not the whole thing. Some areas will actually be raw canvas, some areas will have 2 layers, but some areas will have 15 layers all on top of each other with slightly different layers of transparency, all having their fun across the canvas. You can do that with acrylics, you can do it with oils, it just takes months. I don't have that sort of dry time. I want to be able to do those layers at rapid pace while I have the inspiration and while it's in my mind. Have a good night. You really should look up Lisa Frank. You're amazing. I absolutely will, Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you later. And yes, the paintings do sell. This is not for sale. That's a bit critical of me, sorry guys. The paintings are for sale, but these ones here are all commissions. So all the ones you've seen over the past few weeks have all been commissions. And I do have a few paintings in the studio. I keep them close to my chest, close to my heart, because I like to have a few things in my studio to keep the area popping. That's why on the website it says online shop down. I had 4 more works, pulled down the shop. I'm like, I'm just gonna hold on to these ones. These can be mine. Is this your full-time occupation? How did you get into art? It is my full-time occupation. Art's what I do. Absolutely love it, guys. I love every second of it. It's an absolute privilege, to wake up and get to pursue something that you feel such a connection with. It's not a euphoric connection where you're like, oh my God, I get to pursue my dream. It's a natural connection. It's the thing that when you wake up in the morning and you feel like a morning coffee, or you feel like, I don't know, when you really feel at home. I feel at home in front of a canvas. It relaxes me. It feels natural. It doesn't, there's nothing there's nothing more relaxing to me than starting a blank canvas. It feels good. And that good feeling, guys, that's what you want to pursue. That's incredible in all the ways. Yours may not be a blank canvas, yours could be anything, but finding it is good. Always love watching your clips. Mahalo. Oh, I missed that mahalo there, sorry. Mahalo to you. Are you from Hawaii? I'm not from Hawaii, but this is Steve from Hawaii, and this is Steve's painting, this giant wave. I'm just in love with it, guys. This wave is packed with energy, absolutely packed with it. Rolling and crashing. And we're just going to add a little bit more here and there. Really make these colours pop. Now, one thing we're trying to do is there's a few lines that go the same direction of the wave. They're in here and they're in here. They're actually in the picture. Oh, thanks guys, appreciate that. Thanks for the roses, Nancy. But the wave doesn't actually have these rolling lines in it, except for those few. A lot of the lines are perpendicular because of the way the light catches them. If we don't express that correctly, it won't look like a wave. But if I stand back from it, you can see these reflections coming across the wave, this curling motion. Even though none of the lines are in line with it, you can see this wave curling over and crashing. That's what we want. Who would a dream person do a portrait of? Who would a dream person do a portrait of? I don't fully understand the question, but I'll tell you what. If you ask me right now, who do I want to make a portrait of? What would really give me a kick? Honestly, Steve. I'm exactly where I want to be right now. This is exactly who I want to be painting. Me and Steve have been working on this one, putting this project together with each other for a while. We started with a slightly smaller size, we've increased it. The understanding of Steve with these pictures that he sent through to me and this wave that we're working on, and honestly, I don't know who else I'd want to be painting right now. I'm sure I'll meet other people, form amazing connections, and then we'll actually go off and paint a picture for them, and that's going to be in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. But right now, where I'm currently at, I want to be doing Steve. This is the right place to be. Tomorrow, depending on what we get with Steve's painting, I want to do Scott and Craig, and I want to do this family portrait over here for Stephen. These are my top 3 priorities in the world. No Barack Obama, no Joe Biden, no Clint Eastwood, no nothing is going to get in the way of the connection I want to have with these 3 paintings right now. It's been a long time since I've done painting. Watching this makes me want to do painting again. Sugar Zam Art. Cool name. Sugar Zam Art, first off, that's fantastic. Go do your thing, Sugar Zam Art. Well, or hang out here for longer. Don't let a Kiwi tell you what to do, that's for sure. But if you want to go painting, you go painting. And if you ever feel confident, you're welcome to share what you make with me. I'd love to see it. And yeah, I'm glad you got some inspiration from my random wafflings. And the funnest thing about that is all the random wafflings I gave out, I haven't once referenced Kung Fu Panda yet. But now that I've said it out loud, Cheryl's like grimacing right now going, oh, he's gonna start talking about Master Uwe all over again. Cheryl's not my wife. She's just a fantastic human being that helps us make this group what it is. But I do have a partner, her name's Shelby. I don't know if she's joining in right now. She's probably busy. That's okay. Right, where are we at? We're in a good place. Continue to add some paint. Mix these 2 blues together. Get a combination. Hi, Seb and Cheryl. Hello, T. I was just talking about you earlier today, T. I was wondering where you were. I was like, I hope she's okay. Hope you're doing well, T. Hope you're looking after yourself. Hope everything's going well. And obviously, you can do whatever you want to do, T, but just know that we missed you. Oh, we have got Shelby Cooper here. Look at that. We've got people everywhere. And now I'm intimidated. I don't know if I can paint anymore. Too many eyes on me. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Boom. Who can feel the crashing energy of a wave? I can. We're on the right track. It needs white in it though, guys. It needs some white. So, how are we going to approach that? This canvas is pretty full of paint. There's our mess that we've made. This painting is giving Moana. Yeah, I hope it does give you Moana vibes. What's that song? We Know the Way. Don't know the lyrics to it, but if I try and say them, I'll butcher them. But yeah, Moana vibes. And the reason I get Moana vibes is Disney put a huge amount of work into that show to actually make the water seem alive. So part of Moana wasn't just about the characters moving through it, it was about the environments being alive. So if you rewatch it, I mean, there's one obvious point where the water's actually animated and it's interacting with Moana. But for the rest of it, all the movements of the water, they're much more organic movements than they are regular sea movements. A sea is more of a sloshy motion some of the time. But the movements in Moana have this dancing flow to them. And also the colours of added from this adds life to the water. So if you're feeling life in the water, then you will get Moana vibes from this. Now, stop distracting me. White. I shouldn't click my fingers at you, that's rude, sorry guys. But I do need to get white paint. Let me get that from here. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Alright. White. Do we want to add anything to the white team? Yes, we do. We want some Arctic blues. Not the strong blues we've been using. We want some Arctic blues. If you're wondering what an Arctic blue is, I'm making it sound special. It's not that special. It's literally just a light blue colour. There we go. It's all we need. A teeny tiny little bit of it. They call it like cobalt turquoise. Can I buy these? Alexander, yes you can buy these, but you can't have this one. This is a commission. This is going to Steve. I've currently got a few works in the studio that are available. I can send you pictures of them, but they're like my private little collection. But best thing to do, reach out for a commission. There's a link in the bio, and from that you can send me an image, tell me about what you're thinking about, what inspired you, or what specific image you're looking to paint, and we can brainstorm together. Earliest spot. Come on, Sue. Earliest spot is late in this month. It's the first. Later this month, towards the end of it, I can sneak you in there. Otherwise, early April, we can make a plan. How do you start painting? Well, how do you start painting? 1,000,001 ways to do it. Most fun way is probably to go along to one of those wine and paint nights. And if you bring along some peers with you, fantastic. That's a real winner. Another way to do it, another way, is to buy yourself a little starter kit off Amazon or wherever. I should really give you guys a link to one that will work well, but honestly, when you're starting out, any paint's fine. Don't get hung up on buying canvases. You don't need canvases. Go to a DIY shop and buy some boards. Boards are fine. Chuck some gesso paint on the boards. Gesso is like primer. That's what they put on houses before they paint them. It'll just mean that your paintbrush will run nicer on the surface. You can apply the gesso however you want. I just do it with a rag because it's faster than a brush. And once it's dry enough to touch, start painting on it. and you're golden. And that will be really cool too, guys, because then your cost really is just the paint. Because if you are buying canvases one after the next, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your end results because they're costing you big bucks to keep buying canvases. If you are doing on a whole bunch of boards, you'll quickly rattle through artwork at lightning pace because you'll be, oh beautiful. We've nailed it, guys. This Arctic colour is exactly what we're after inside this wave. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Happy boy. Yeah. So cheap surfaces to paint on. There's nothing wrong with MDF boards, guys. It's actually standard practice for a bunch of really famous artists. If you can get smaller boards, it's fantastic. Keep rattling through them, enjoy doing them, and once you get the hang of it, you don't need a plan from there. Once you get the hang of it, you'll know what to do next. You'll know what you want to do and how you want to go about it. Or maybe, so it's very likely that you'll have some ideas that you didn't know you were going to have. They're heading some directions that you didn't know you wanted to go in. So, cheers guys, appreciate that. What else is said there? Is watercolor paint a good way to start? Great question. Great question. Is watercolor paint a good way to start? I don't have a whole lot of experience with watercolor paints. Watercolor paints are fine. They're not typically my go. I would recommend starting with acrylics. Thank you, Sloan. You're an absolute champion. Appreciate the support. I would start with acrylics. And the reason I start with acrylics is they're very easy to use when you start because they're water-based. They're very clean and easy to use. Matt, love you to bits. And professionals, masters, use acrylics. So the skills you learn your first day of using acrylics will apply to if you become a master or if you turn it into a part-time hobby, or whatever you do with your painting. Acrylic skills will always be relevant. Don't think you'll start with watercolors and then transition to oils or something. You can do that, of course, but you'll learn unique things about how watercolors work that'll actually you'll learn unique things about how watercolors work that'll make you want to stay with watercolors. So, if you want to choose which medium to go with, I know this is just for the artist, guys, so I'm sorry for dragging everyone on the yarn. If you want to choose which medium to start with, go on the internet, have a look at the different types of mediums and the results they're getting, and then choose one according to what pictures resonate with you the most. And that's all I have to say about that. I hope that helps. Here we go. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. All you need is love. I don't know if Shelby was around before for the Elephant Love Melody section that we did. It was magical. You missed out. Bean, you're a champion. Thank you very much. If you haven't listened to it, guys, jump on Spotify, search Elephant Love Melody, get on board with an absolute hero. Love is a many. Splendid thing, love. Lift us up where we belong. All you need is love. And she's having absolutely none of it, and he is undeterred. All you need is love. Oh, don't start that again. There we go. I'm not talking to myself there. She says that in the song. Well, I am talking to myself, but I'm justifying it by explaining that. Cheers, guys. Appreciate you guys. Hey, Seb, Singing Dino. Singing Dino. It has been a hot minute. How you doing, Singing Dino? Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Time goes by so slowly. There we go. We're just going to capture. Now, it's looking very subtle with the way we're going about this, guys, but what we're adding in here is just some slight gradient changes to the white areas of the painting. Just because they're white doesn't mean we're not going to give them that love and attention. Because that's going to be what makes this wave deep. The dark colours, there's popping differences in the hues, and the light colours, there'll be some small differences in the hues. How do you know where to place certain colours? There's certain little tricks and tips you can follow, but for me, a certain component of it is an I don't know factor. And I don't know, and it's instinctual. So, Seb, howdy, g'day Ryan, how we doing? So let's see here. Am I going to change? No, I think we're golden. I think we're golden, guys. Thanks for the little crown bean. Hey, Seb, mate. Cheers, Jason. Appreciate you. Jason, do you have a shoot on the way or what's going on? Give me the update. The hues and the small changes in here are going to be with very light green, very light pink, a tiny bit of light yellow, and different shades of light blue. Ta, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Cheers for all the roses. Here we go. Sneaking around here. Sneaking around here. Oh yeah. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by. It's a song on TikTok at the moment, guys. It's stuck in my head. I'm sorry that you'll have to put up with that. Ta, jeepers creepers. The amount of roses you've just given trumped even the amount of roses I got Shelby for Valentine's Day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it to no end. Do you have a unique signature for your paintings, and where do you place your signature? Signatures. Interesting. Signatures are important if your art's out there in the world and you want people to know where to find you. Typically, I don't like to sign the paintings. If I can, I like to sign the back. I like my signature over the back of it because I like the whole painting to speak for itself in a world that's so connected these days. And we see things on the internet, we see things on the internet, we see things on our phones, we can confirm who made the painting via a device in our pockets. I like to try and resist from even putting my name on the painting. I guess the one perk I get too is this is a very distinctive style, guys, and so since it's very distinctive, you can verify, you go, that looks like a Seb painting. You can actually jump on your phone and go, yeah, there's the real, that's the guy. I'm definitely gonna snap up a t-shirt. It would be rude not to, man. Cheers, Jason. Appreciate you, mate. They are pretty funny. They look pretty cool. Bonfire, I'm not going to take full credit for them. Bonfire's design team made them for me. I give them the links to all the social medias. So they checked out the TikTok. You need to lift your... That's a lot of roses. You know how much she charged me per rose? She charged me $5. $5 New Zealand dollars per rose. And then I got one for every year I've known Shelby, which was... No, so I got 2 roses for every year I'd known her, which was 16 roses. And I thought that was a good ticket. And then Ta comes in here and starts throwing around 156 roses. And now I just don't know how I can recover from that. I think I've been taught a lesson. Here we go. Perfect. So we're going to add some white into the painting. Where we see this white, it doesn't want to come off like the white is the highlights on the edge of some turbulent water, is what's going on there. Hello, Eveline. I hope you're looking after yourself. Hello. Hello, it's me. Whose song's that? Adele. Man, it's been a hot minute since I've heard some Adele. This time I went back and listened to some. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I stare directly in the sun, but never in the mirror. I hope someone's told her since that song came out, Taylor, I need you to stop staring at the sun, it's bad for your eyes. I appreciate everything you do, your music's fantastic. Just want to confirm that that's just a lyric, you're not actually doing it, because sunlight can hurt your eyes. Here we go. Time goes by so slowly. Right, I'm going to stand back and have a look-see, guys. Give me one moment. Un momento. Let's see here. Our colours are looking good. We are lacking 2 shades of blue that I want to add into it. I'm being particularly needy about it, but I want them. I need aquamarine blue, 2 different shades of it. I want a deep one and a slightly navy one. Thank you, Edeline, appreciate that. Yeah, so I want a deep one to go down here to combine with some greens and capture the shades and the shadows happening down here. And I want a lighter one up here to actually add some volume to the wave without making it seem like a dark tunnel, but adding weight to it. So I don't have those on me. I could mix for them, but I'll just buy them tomorrow, I think. Because we've got so much more to do with these light colours. With these light colours. Oh yeah. There we go. Hello. Just like that. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by. So, also guys, if anyone sees my posture slacking, please let me know. Hunching over a little bit. I really have to keep a straight back. Otherwise, when I'm 50 here on TikTok, I'll just be hunched over a canvas like this and it'll be a disaster. So, by the time I'm 50, TikTok will be like Facebook. And everyone will be like, that's not cool anymore. Only old people use that. I'm sitting there with no teeth going, it's very practical, I like it. I can keep in touch with the grandkids. Here we go. Perfectos. A bit more of this gel through here. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by. Cool, cool, cool. So like I was saying, guys, just because it's bright doesn't mean we can ignore it. I can ignore it. It's supposed to be an area that gives you opportunity to build depth and colours and have some fun, but all in the same tone. So that's what we're up to here. Oh, thanks, Bailey. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. So slowly, time goes by. So slowly. There we go. Fantastic. And then there's going to be a bunch of white. White. Tonight. Time goes by. We need some more of the white. 1 second. Raven, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And certainly when it comes to art or artistic practice, don't let anyone gatekeep on you and be like, oh, you know, you need to do this and you do that. Or if you want to be a dancer or a singer or an artist, you have to jump through these hoops or be like this or it's never going to happen. This is terrible, guys. This is so incorrect. Don't listen to any of that. You can be... the thing is, you can't be exactly like someone else. But in terms of the arts, dancing, singing, painting, if you have a passion and you want to pursue it, you can become the best version of you pursuing that. Now, no, it may not be Michelangelo's sculptures. That was his thing. But you know what? The most well-paid artist in the world right now, what's his name? Damien something. His artwork doesn't look like Michelangelo's. We've got the most famous living artist right now, and some of the most incredible artists from the past, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, even lumping Van Gogh to that same group. And they all look entirely different with the results they produced. So, don't get hung up on trying to be someone you're not, because honestly, the best version of you is probably really good. Guess who... Oh. Jaden, you're an absolute champion, mate. Jason, you've got to send me a picture of you in it. Tag it on, if you're feeling confident, tag it on Instagram, and I'll chuck it in the, tag me on it so I can have it on the feed. It's pretty funny. There's about, I'm not sure how many shirts are floating around now, but what I'm really hoping is, what would be crack up? I'd love for someone who's got a shirt to run into someone else with a shirt and be like, yo! And you'd be like, what's your username? Oh, I'm so-and-so. And they'd be like, oh, I'm so-and-so. It's like, we've talked a lot. That would be very, very funny. I would be on board with that. Yeah. Here we go. Gonna come down here. Now, guys, I said 2-hour session. And even if we're having fun, I might stick to that. Oh, well, if we're having real... If we're on a roll, obviously, there's always an exception to that rule. But we are just doing Mahalo tonight. I'm just loving Mahalo. There's just a part of me that wants to just splash around some intense colour and have some fun with it. Time goes by so slowly. Mahalo is the name of this painting, by the way, guys. If you're fresh here, that's what's been referred to here. Challenge accepted. Champion, Jason. You absolute legend. And I'm looking forward to the day you run into another stranger somewhere. Also, wearing a paint like one of your French girl shirts. That'll be a fantastic moment. Please, 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 please contact me when that happens. Can we sneak in a shark? No, we can't sneak in a shark, but the fun thing about it is that since this work is an impressionist style and all these blobs are doing their own wild little things, if we start looking closely at this painting, we'll start to spot sharks because our mind will play tricks on us and want us to see things that may or may not exist in the actual picture itself. Sort of like if you've heard of an artist called Tos Williston, who is famous for painting animals in his landscapes. When he actually never painted an animal in landscapes, or so he upholds, he just did some wild brush strokes that seemed like reflecting the water amazing. Oh, yeah. Cheers, just saying. I mean, you're just saying. It's an appropriate username for the comment you made. Yeah, so reflections, super fun. Love to paint them, especially when they're abstract. I've got a villain laugh. Raven. That hurts. Yeah, I probably do. Anyway, so if we look around, let's have a quick gaze and see if we can't spot a sneaky little shark somewhere in all the abstract cascading paint. Excuse me. All right, I can't see one, but if you stare for long enough, you might be able to make one out. If I'm just, best way to do it when you're trying to spot something like that is to blur your eyes a little bit and let it sort of, oh, there we go. There's a shark. All right, shark time. This shadow here, look at that there, heading exactly towards Steve. Black shape here and a fin coming out of the water there. Now, it's obviously, there's not a shark in the picture, but that could be a shark semi-surfacing, coming to get Steve. And that's the fun of subjective impressionist painting. That's as much of a shark as it is a shadow being cascaded onto a wave from Steve, because we can just say it is what we want it to be. Have you ever done a painting where you thought I should have stopped earlier in the process? Kelly, absolutely. I've ruined paintings. And then I brought them back from that brink, and then I've ruined them again, and then I brought them back and ruined it again. In fact, the most times I've done that is 3 times, where I was going to throw the painting away 3 times, and I kept bringing it back from the brink and then ruining it again. Now, the most important thing to understand about that is painting is not a linear process. Painting goes like this, and we're just hoping that the process is just trending upwards. Some paintings might go straight to the top. Some paintings will get so close to being finished and then dip, and they'll be so hard to bring back up. And some paintings will just falter around here and then suddenly skyrocket up to finished. You really don't know what it's going to do. A painting is chaos, especially impressionism, and so you don't know whether it's going to be going up one day or down the next day. Now, Mahalo is an exception right now, guys. When we touched the painting with black paint at the start, it just shot straight into a space where I was so proud of it, and I just loved it off the bat. That doesn't mean that the very next bit of paint I put on this canvas will be what we want. It may just be a long trail of mistakes from here, because we're trying to craft chaos. I'm hoping that it's not going to be, because I'm in love with this piece. But you know what? It could happen. It could happen. Now let me just check something, guys. Where are we at? 10:18. 10:18. Are we able to see how long we've been on the stream for? I can't tell. It won't tell me. It won't tell me. Something about fire though. I missed the fire. Greetings from Spain. Hello. I love... that was quick T. Didn't even say... Yeah, T. You gotta watch out for T, Cheryl. T is lightning. She takes no prisoners. I was gonna say 3:18 a.m. Jeepers creepers. I think the next thing I need now, guys, is actually, well, as I start looking at this, I do need those blues. Yeah, we're crying out for blues now. We could keep attacking it with this. I'm gonna have a little bit of a mix into this white and see what we get made here. And see if the colour's appropriate. Okay, there is a tiny bit here. But apart from that, oh no, a little bit here. There's a little bit on our surfer friend. There we go. So Steve's going to get some. But I don't think that we're going to have this creeping into much. Oh no, there's a little bit around the feet. Alright, no, so we're finding bits. It's not game-changing amounts, but we are finding places for this colour to go. Because we don't want to take any compromises here, guys. We don't want to think, oh, okay, so we're out of that colour. Let's use X instead, because I know that that's the colour I want. And I know that no other colour, unfortunately, is going to be good enough. I just need that colour. This is how I behave, guys. I got my mind set on that colour. There we go, perfect. Right. That's good. That's good, team. That's very good. Right. Do you go to the Picasso Museum? Yes, I did, and I loved it to bits. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Right. I'm going to pause there. I'm going to buy the 2 paints I need tomorrow, and then I'm going to crack into these 3. They're all... This one here's... Mahalo's got another 3 layers at least to go on it. These other 2 are right on the brink of being finished. They've probably got another 1 or 2 layers max, and we'll see where they get to. I was hoping to have them all shipped by the 1st, but just the way the layers are coming together, we're going to spend a bit longer on it. But yeah, loving all 3. Is Scott and Craig are full of love, Mahalo is full of life, and the family portrait is just, oh, it's got depth and it's got energy. I'm a huge fan of all 3, guys. It's very good. Very good. I'm from New Zealand. Thanks, T, you champion. I'm from New Zealand. My name's Seb Gower. I'm about to dash off. Steve, thank you for joining on in. I'll come back tomorrow with my 2 aquamarines, which are the 2 colours of blue that I want to add to the top and bottom of this painting. Not just to the bottom or to the top, but to actually bring up through each side. Sort of amalgamate through the whole painting. Ryan, love you to bits. You're an absolute champion. And yeah, if you want any more stuff, guys, all the links are in the bio and you'll find it all there. Your birthday's on March 5th. Ooh, Raven. All right, well, if you're around, I wish you a happy birthday. All the best, guys. Yeah, we're from all over the world, so wherever you are, have a great day or a great night. Bean Nation, thank you. Love you to bits. I'll have a t-shirt soon. Just need the heart of the ocean. Oh, yes. Yes. I love your style, Jason. All right. Good night, Cheryl. Good night, T. And good night, Steve. Thank you so much for joining in, all 3 of you. And everyone else, you're all champions. I will see you next time. Bye.